that change is top down? Yes, but it's also bottom up and it's inside out. And where are we right now in this movement for hope and change? Right? Where are we in our movement for hope and change? And what do we need to do next? And how does this center fit into it? Well, first of all, we have to remember that when we're on the campaign trail and it's campaign time, you're trying to achieve one thing, and that's trying to move the people from despair to hope. Right? People who don't believe, who've given up, to get them from despair to hope. When you're governing, you're trying to go from hope to change. And going from hope to change is hard. My brother was talking about changing his life. See, going from despair, we know this. When you go from despair to hope, that's like when you, like I am, 10 pounds overweight, and you just giving up, and just say, hey, I was eating another Twinkie, I'm in the airport, I don't care, you know. Nobody's looking. Right. That's despair. Then you're in the hotel room, and they had a little exercise woman come on, and you say to yourself, I could lose 10 pounds. I could. That's called hope. Losing 10 pounds, that's called change. That's hard. Right? Change is hard. Change goes zigzaggy. And so we in the zaggy or the ziggy right now. That's us all. And we have to recognize that when you're in that, it's difficult. And one of the things that I'm trying to communicate to you is projects like this that don't rise and fall based on what's happening in the subcommittee of Congress. Projects like this that are not dependent on the 24-hour news cycle or cable TV, that are just dependent on real people who refuse to be beat down, who refuse to give up on each other, who refuse to quit. That's the real basis of a movement for hope and change. And one of the things that I think we have to remember is who we are. We had this movement for hope and change before we had the White House. Okay? I'm trying not to get too uppity or grumpy with people, but I'm tired of people criticizing and blogifying and critiquing and analyzing and munching popcorn like what's happening in our country is the Barack Obama show, a one-person show. And suddenly this movement, this incredible movement that we built ourselves with our own hands, is now a popcorn munching critique show. That's on us. We had this movement before we had the White House. Back in 2003, I just want you to remember who we are and who you are, because I think sometimes we forget. Back in 2003, we had millions of people in the streets, right, to try to stop a war. The New York Times calls what? The second superpower. World public opinion. No leader, no presidential candidate, no money. Just us saying this is not right. 2004, the Democratic Party had a candidate who I respect a great deal, John Kerry, but he wasn't considered a messianic leader. He was a candidate. And yet we had a pro-democracy movement break out across this country, where people took it on themselves to rescue American democracy. And we came within 100,000 votes in Ohio of getting rid of George W. Bush in 2004. That was before we had the White House. That was before anybody knew who Barack Obama was, right? 2006, after the heartbreak of Hurricane Katrina, 2005, 2006, took back the House and the Senate. We inspired him first. He looked out at you and saw your movement. He looked out at you and saw your dynamism, your passion, your refusal to bow down. And he said, something's happening in this country. And I believe if I stand with it, we can do something great. But don't forget, I was so inspired by Barack Obama, and now. if it's an inspiration gap, and we got a country with 360 million people in it, maybe it's time for us to inspire each other again. And that's what this is. That's what this is. That's what this is. So the young brother said, if I could change the nation, if we could change the nation, there ain't no if. There ain't no if. We've been doing it. We've been doing it. It's because we were willing to do it here in the Bay Area and across the country. People like us, regular old folk, folk who sneak off to KFC. It's like, is she looking at me? Regular people. Because we were willing when it was tough, when it was really tough. We've already changed the nation. And we're going to continue to change the nation. Change is hard. It zigzags. But I want to say how proud I am to be able to come home, to lend my support to my friends, people like Allie and other folks. If I start naming names, we'll be going all down the line. But I love everybody here. Thank you. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be home. The campaign was a campfire that the best of America got to sit around together for a minute. All colors, all classes, both parties, 3-5 parties in California. We got a chance to see the best in each other. And we got a chance to celebrate the best in each other. When we won at the inauguration, those millions of people didn't leave. You didn't leave. There are millions of people in this country who still believe, who are still committed. We have to find each other again. That's all. And what we have here in Oakland is a new campfire. Let's keep it going. Thank you very much.